Welcome back friends to Lynch Paints, where I, Lynch, will be showing you all how to paint skin tones for your miniatures. And in this episode is a summer themed video with these fantastic models that I acquired from Etsy. So, without further ado, let's grab our paints and brushes, our sun cream and our swim shorts, and let's dive straight into it. And of course, in order to paint these lovely miniatures, you will need a selection of paints, and these are all the ones I've used in this video. The ones at the back, the blue, green and the darker purple, are just the ones that I chose to paint the swim shorts, and of course you don't have to paint them in those colours if you don't want to. We'll also require a medium-sized base brush, a finer detail brush, and a very fine teeny tiny detail brush. So we'll start out with a base coat of white spray paint, and I'm going to start out with Sergeant Rubber Ducky. I'm going to look at his skin first. Despite it raining outside at the minute in Britain, we're still going to pretend like it's still summertime, because technically it is, but it's just awful out there. So I'm going to grab some Kivas Velvet Flesh and a nice chunky brush. Then I'm just going to start out with the skin first. We want to apply a nice layer going over the top. So now the first layer is dry, we are going to prepare a wash or a glaze, just using a little bit of Genestealer Purple mixed in with the Kivas Velvet Flesh, and this will just add a little bit more realism to it. Because if you look at your own skin, so I think there are kind of quite a few elements of sort of fleshy purple. And so this I'm just going to apply pretty much all over the skin, and then when that's dry, I'll probably do a dry brush over the top with Kivas Velvet Flesh. If it does look like it's too dark, then fear not, because when it dries it tends to dry lighter. Alright, so our glaze has dried, and then we're going to go back over the top of the skin with a mixture of Kivas Velvet Flesh and White Scar. We want a medium-sized brush, and we want to just dip our brush into some water, and this will help to give us as much control as possible. So in a minute, I'm just going to go back over some of the muscles just with adding in a little bit more white into the mixture. This would just help to highlight and help certain areas to stand out. Damn, I wish I was this muscly as this guy. These guys are ripped. Also, if you find it easier, you can always swap to a much finer brush just to pick out those remaining details and those highlights. So the skin is now complete. We're going to now move over to the real important part, which of course is his inflatable ducky. So I figured a nice bright yellow for this, and I'll take a medium-sized brush, and we're just going to apply a nice layer over the top, just being mindful of the skin that we've put down. Don't want some of this yellow, or any of this yellow, to get onto our model. And if you do, then just be aware, I'm not angry, just disappointed. So while we're just waiting for the yellow to dry, and just in between coats, because it's gonna need a second coat, we're just going to have a look at the blaster. So I'm going to grab some black and a medium brush. I'm going to get in as close as we can with the medium brush, and then we'll fill the rest in with a smaller brush. So you want to be as careful as you can. So we're going to finish up the rubber duck ring. Now I was going to paint the beak in an orange, but my orange has given up on me. So we're going to make our own, just using a bit of red and a lot of yellow. You'll only need a tiny amount of red, because red is a very, very strong colour when you mix it in. And then you can just make the beak however orange you like. So we'll let the orange dry, and while that's drying we're just going to paint the eyes black. So we're going to move over to his swim shorts, and I figured a nice vibrant red will look really, really nice. So we're going to take a nice brush, have our paint water down until we have maximum control, and we're just going to go and dive straight in. And so the shorts are finished. I just went back over the top using some Blood Angels Contrast Red just to give it a bit more depth and help to easily shade in some of the areas. And speaking of which, we're going to do the same with the helmet. So we're going to grab this Apothecary White and we're going to apply a nice general layer over the top. And so the contrast is dry. We're just going to take some of this white, water down a little bit, and then we're just going to carefully just apply the whites just on the raised areas. This will help to make the white underneath stand out a little bit more, add some more contrast, and it will give more definition to the helmet. So this is how I go about painting skin tone for all your various miniatures from your chosen tabletop game. And what a fantastic kit to base this video on. I got these from Etsy, and I will include a link of the listing that I used in the description below. There will be stills and posts of these miniatures over at my Instagram page at Lynch Paints. If you're new to me over there, then do check me out, and a follow would be massively appreciated. If you're new to me on YouTube, then a like and a comment and a subscription would be absolutely amazing. It would mean a lot to me if you could. Now this squad will be an absolute perfect and ideal fit if you were planning to have a an Empire force based on Scarif or any other kind of tropical world within the Star Wars galaxy. If you wanted to support me just a little bit further, I will include in the description a link to my Ko-fi page as well. And yeah, let me know in the comments what parts you liked about this, what parts you think should maybe be changed. I would love to read them and assist wherever I can. So without further ado, stay safe, stay beautiful, and we'll see you next time.